Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mentally Business. I am your host, Kamisha Brewer Dickerson, and today is episode 99. This is the final episode before the official launch of our podcast next year. So, today we are talking about movement for growth, movement for growth. And this is the final part of the framework that I teach. And before I get into the episode, let me introduce myself. I am a licensed professional counselor practicing here in the state of Arkansas. I'm a business coach for new therapists. I teach them how to set up, structure, and market their private practice without relying on directories or paid ads. I teach them how to do this by using relationship based marketing as the most effective strategy. I am a professional speaker. I have spoken over 300 times. I do workshops, trainings, keynotes, panel discussions, all types of events. And it's really, really enjoyable for me to be able to teach mental health concepts in non traditional spaces and just bring in the conversation of mental health to our leaders, to our business owners, to our movers and shakers, to our women, to our men, to our children, to our teens. Like, we need to be talking about mental health. And those are the types of moves that I am making at this point in my career and in my business. I am also the author of the book Thought Life Confessions, and if you do not have it, it is available on my website, cbrewerconsulting.com. So let's get to work. Let's talk about movement for growth. And part of the reason I wanted this to be the finale of our live videos, of our audio series as we're transitioning to the podcast space, was I know that at this point of the year, with it being December, when you guys are listening to this, people are in that holiday scramble, trying to figure out what to do, but also wrapping up loose ends in the business. And you should be for the year. So making sure that you have filed everything you need to file with the state, with the IRS, that you are preparing your documents for the top of the year, first quarter, with filing your taxes and doing all the things with your CPA, making sure you're closing out your books. Everything is balanced, everything is reconciled, getting rid of old subscriptions that are no longer serving you, trying to figure out what your new offers are going to be for the new year. And if you're a beginning entrepreneur, when you guys hear me say new offers, I mean like new products and new services. What are you offering for the next year? What does it need to be priced at? Do you need to change your audience? Have you been trying to sell products and services and packages to people who don't want them, to people who don't need them, or to people who are flat out not ready for them? Because I've done that too, especially before I had a business coach. I was selling, higher priced items to entry level audiences, meaning people who were in the startup stage, just getting started, a lot of fear, a lot of mindset blocks, and flat out didn't have the money to pay what I was trying to charge. Therefore, I didn't get sales because the people I was marketing to were not ready for what I had to offer. So getting very clear on what type of moves you want to make and what type of moves you need to be making. So, what I want to teach you guys how to do is to start making moves based on what you're trying to do and based on what you're trying to accomplish. And with that, you also need to start making moves based on what it is you're ready to do. And you guys hear me say this often: to whom much is given, much is required. And so, there are some different things that are being required of me at this point because of the moves that I have made, the people that I have hired, the structure in which we operate the company. There are different moves that we're having to make, and it has been a learning curve for me. So before you really start making these moves for growth and trying to figure out, what your movement even needs to look like, you need to make sure that you have done your research. Research could be podcasts, it could be books, it could be listening to webinars, trainings, buying online courses, hiring a coach, going to therapy, getting your weight under control, changing your eating habits, incorporating exercise, more water, more sleep, just supplements, like all the things to help you to get ready for what it is that you're trying to create. You have to be ready for these moves that you're trying to make, because the moves, they will move you. Okay. So, um, one of the things that happened to me whenever I was graduating grad school, I should have relocated immediately to a larger city, and I was afraid. And that's kind of how I got into the situation I got into, with just being overworked, underpaid. I should have moved, but I was not ready to move. My decision making was not ready for the lifestyle I was trying to create. I wanted this nice house, nice car, great environment, great friends. I wanted friends who were also movers and shakers, but my current environment did not allow for those moves. So as you're moving, you need to start making strategic moves. And some of those strategic moves will include planning ahead. Planning ahead meaning, okay, this time next year, where do I want to be? And let's backtrack. Planning ahead means, okay, what church do I need to be fellowshipping with? What circles do I need to be attending? What events do I need to be attending? Who do I need to start reaching out to and contacting? If I haven't already connected with my local chamber of commerce, let me do that. Let me see what programs and initiatives are available for people who are in my position, for startups, startups for women, startups for men, startups for minorities, startups for children and teenagers. I definitely believe, anyone can be an entrepreneur at any age. I love seeing children who have started businesses and their families are helping them to grow this business. So by the time, they're in their mid 20s, they are very successful in what it is that they're doing, but you have to be strategic in identifying what you need, preparing for what you need, because these moves don't just happen. Okay. The moves will move you if you're not ready. You will get in a circle and you will be embarrassed because you don't understand the language, you don't understand the people, you don't understand what they're talking about. They are talking over your head. And because you can't talk back to these people, it is going to be very obvious that you are not about what you say you're about. You don't have the type of success that you think you have or that you are pretending to have. And here comes imposter syndrome once again. So, one of the things this can look like in terms of movement is you going to a high ticket event with very successful business owners, and they come up to you and they're like, "Hey, what's your launch strategy for quarter two?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I'm going to post and I'm just going to put some feelers out there and see." Okay, that's not a launch strategy. That's market research. So you don't have a launch strategy. And if you can't answer that in terms of like what you're going to use, what software, what systems, what your email sequence is going to look like whatever your launch strategy is, because you can do a live launch, you can do an email launch, you can do all kinds of different types of launches, but you need to know what goes in a launch if you're going to be in those rooms with people who launch regularly and who have successful launches. Okay, so those are the moves and the strategic moves that you need to be prepared for if you choose to put yourself in that room. Sometimes we get in a hurry because we're so interested in movement for growth. We start going in rooms we're not ready for, and it becomes very uncomfortable. And then people start talking about you in a bad way. Now, with that being said, I do highly recommend you upgrade your circle. I think it is okay for you to be in some rooms where you're not the smartest person in the room. You're not the most successful person in the room. It's inspirational. It's a good way to gain information, but you also need to be honest about why you're in the room. And you can tell them, "Hey, I don't have a launch strategy yet. I am brand new to this, but I wanted to be in this room because I came here to learn and I came here to take notes." People have respect for that. And it's really, really beneficial and it looks good on you as a first impression for you to tell people, "Look, I don't have all this stuff figured out yet. I'm working on it, but I cannot directly answer your question. But give me 6 months and I'll circle back and I'll tell you what my launch strategy is." Now you're showing up differently. Now you're showing up as your most authentic self. So it is okay to upgrade your circle. And if you're trying to create moves and you're trying to go to the next level, you are going to need to upgrade your circle. And when I say upgrade your circle, you're going to need to go to master classes that are not free and they're not 27 and $47. Do that for startups, but eventually you need to be going to classes that are like 500 and 1,000. You need to be going to live events that cost $1,500 and all the way up to who knows what. Okay. Some masterminds can be 80,000 to $500,000, whatever, but do what works for you. But you need to make sure that you are getting in some upgraded circles if you want to upgrade your life and you want to upgrade your business. You want to upgrade your contacts. You want to upgrade your impact. You want to upgrade your influence. You have to be creating movement that is conducive to what you're trying to create. So, yes, you need new people for movement for growth. You need new patterns. So that means you may not be staying up on a Friday night till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just watching Netflix, knowing that you have things to do in your business, knowing that you need to be resting because your anxiety and depression depends on it the next day. You need to start having new conversations for movement for growth. You need new software systems for movement for growth. You cannot continue to use the free version of everything if you're going to grow and scale and maximize your operations and your efficiency for free. It's just not going to happen. They have free trials for a reason. And the companies that have designed these beautiful apps and software, they know that, okay, free version, you can have up to 50 people. And then whenever you get to 50 people and you need more bandwidth, you need more storage, you need more extensions, you need more everything, then yes, you're going to have to pay for that. $49.99, whatever, will get you from 50 people to 250 people. Now you're in a new window. That's an upgrade. And I think every upgrade should be celebrated because the things that we are doing are hard. And as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as leaders, we need to be more efficient so that we can serve well. I'm not teaching you guys strategies for your mental health so you can get rich. A lot of people are rich and they make $40,000 a year. Rich is not a number to me. It's a state of being, and it's a lifestyle, and it's the level of peace and comfort and joy that you get to experience every single day. So, I want you guys to write this down, put it on your sticky notes, on your notebook. You can get a tattoo. I don't care what you do, but I want you to write this down and to just ingrain it in your heart. Master your moves for the level that you are on. Master your moves for the level that you are on, not the level that you think you're on, not the level that you want to be on, but for where you are actually at. You need to master your moves. The way you move throughout the day, the way you move throughout your home, the way you move throughout your marriage, the way you move throughout your 9 to 5 job. For you corporate heroes, you nonprofit heroes, the way you move every single day needs to be a flow, a process. It needs to be seamless, and you need to master it. I have seen so many people with great marketing. We talked about that last week, with just great marketing, but they spoke to the reality. They spoke to where people want it to be, their future selves, where they see themselves in 5 years. The marketing was geared toward that. The marketing was not geared to the reality of the level that they were actually on. And the level they were actually on was scared, clueless, afraid, lacking resources, and lacking insight and knowledge about how to go get the resources to be able to invest. So now you've got people who still have mindset blocks inside of a coaching program where they have spent money that they really didn't have, and they still don't know how to go make the money back. It is not a healthy exchange. It is not a healthy transaction. And I know people have to pay for transformation, but if you can't give them transformation because they were never ready for your program to start with, that was not a good move for you or for them, because nobody wins. You made money, but you also exploited another human being, which is not right. So be careful about the moves that you're trying to make, the moves that you are making for your growth. We're going to continue to talk about moves and just the mindset, the money, the marketing, the movement, like all of the core pieces of the framework. We're going to continue to do those things, but I want to give you guys something to work on for the next few weeks, because my team and I, we are scheduling things in advance. So by the time you guys actually hear this episode, we will be on our 30-day break. So it's a light break, behind the scenes work only, as we are preparing for the launch of the podcast. But for the rest of the year, I wanted to give you something to do, an action step of mastering your moves for the level that you are on, and then start planning ahead for what you want to do. If there are conferences and events and trainings that you want to be at, put the money to the side and go ahead and get in. Honestly, like whenever an event is first over, let me give you guys an inside hack. If there's a conference that you wanted to go to and you didn't get a chance to go to, as soon as the conference is over, those tickets are going to go on sale, and it's probably going to be half off. So as soon as it's over, buy your tickets for the upcoming year so you can get the discount, and you can always be working a year in advance. So plan ahead, upgrade your circle, master your moves for the level that you are on, and you will be successful. As long as you do these things, trust God, do the work, get some rest, be diligent, be committed to improving your life every single day, not people pleasing, not doing things because people ask you or because they want you to, doing it because it matters to you and you believe in whatever that move is, and you're going to see it through until the end. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching all of the videos, listening to the lives, listening to the audios, for sharing. We are praying blessings over you and your family, over your business, peace, love, and joy throughout this holiday season. And we will see you in the next episode on the